Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Before I get into this video, I'd like to ask you all to please leave a like or comment on my video and consider subscribing to my channel. Now, once more, we are on a large a battle cruiser with large weapons, so a mini battleship. Now, we are on the Talos. One thing to note about the Talos is it has a smaller power grid and it's almost identical to the Naga. I think the only difference is that it's an armor tank. Let me just double check. It is from Galante Space, by the way, so I am expecting it to be more armor sensitive. Yes, it is. Okay, so the Talos is an armor tank in this class. That means you're going to be running a standard battle cruiser build. The large armor wraps are really difficult to put on these ships. They don't give you enough of a format. So this is going to be the armor variant of the railguns. Right, so we have a Caldari and we have a Galante variant. They are very similar. The difference is that one is going to be able to cut down the other because of the ability to run large equipment. Now, you have seen my builds for the Naga. This one is going to be very similar, just slight tweaking, slight adjustment. Everything is within a closer range. It doesn't break the large range cycles, so please note that exactly what I build it with is meant because of this particular reason. It is going to run a defensive build similar to the Naga. Okay, wait, I didn't go through all of the 95% power grid reduction, 50% capacitor need, plus 5% damage, plus 5% tracking speed, minus 5% inertia modifier, minus 4% signature radius. Now those are per your advanced engineering and command levels. They do make a big difference to the ship. It means it is targeted last generally. All the advantages to it are as per those advantages, starting them up. Now it is an armor tank. It's 182 meters per second, making it quite fast. 2.7 AU, 960 megawatt power grid. Once increased with the 37% from your engineering, that is going to pull you up all the way to 1,300 megawatt, around 1,300 megawatt power grid. You have a little bit extra leeway. You know that your weapons are going to come in very close, but none of that is really going to affect the power grid on the ship. 1,200 cubic meter cargo capacity hold, making it nice and large. All right, all of that was discussed. Its capacitor is 2,953 gigajoules. We're not running the large shields, so we don't have to have it at that massive figure that the Naga had. So let's go straight into the weapons, railguns. Now, since this is going to seem like a real ripoff from my Naga video, that's because I'm using the exact same format. The railguns, as you can see, 56 kilometers. You are under the 64 kilometer large range, so you don't really worry about playing without defense. Defense is very critical to the ship. Right, so there we go. Now if you move on down, I know we get the next one. Snub nose. Snub nose is lighter on power grid. As you can see, very close range, about 17 kilometer within the close range. There is it. Right, you get the whole idea. I'm just going to give you the quick power figures. I'm just going to work out the big one once more. All right, 45 times 2 is 90, 90 times 3, 270. So 270 megawatts for the big power system, and the smaller one will be under 240 megawatts, right? So that will leave us with around 1,000 megawatts for the remainder of the ship. Mid slots on the ship will be target painters, disruptors for your weapon. So whichever faction you are fighting, except for Minmata and Caldari, will use tracking disruptors. For Minmata and Caldari, you will think of using a guidance computer. It will help you stop the missiles from hitting you. That is one of the advantages, right? So that is where you would go. You would use drones all the time with the ship, so a Vesper or a Hammerhead will definitely help you with combat medium type drones. Target painters, Obviously you could use a target painter and double webs. You could use double target painter and a web. All depends on how you are fighting. The closer range brawler is always double web and one target painter. That will be the best for you if you aren't running disruptors. Okay, so mid slots are completed. You could run the large Nosferatu on the ship, leaving you with 300 megawatts to build the remainder. That is still fine. It isn't going to hurt you too badly, especially with the way that I'm going to build the ship in comparison to the Naga. Okay, so we're not going to run anything in shields. Armor wrap is going to go standard medium, 111 megawatts per armor wrap. We're going to double it up. Right, there you go. One armor hardener, that's going to give you a solid 1 megawatt drain. So yeah, there we go. From our power grid, not too heavy, not too bad. Everything is staying well within reason. For the brawlers, you could always equip a large Nosferatu for this particular ship. You will have 300, and with this here installed, 300, that'll be 222. It will change up your format of the last two things that you put on the ship. You would have to change from tracking computers to double magnetic fields, right? Magnetic fields are if your power grid goes too low. If you have advanced engineering, you can go further and put the tracking computer. Now, as you can see, that's 3 gone from the standard formation of the ship. The next thing you're going to do in that weapon category is gyro stabilize, magnetic field stabilizer. Sorry, you can double magnetic field stabilize the ship, and that's going to give you more output on fire. Or you can, let's see, if you didn't go with the large Nosferatu, obviously there is an option for brawler. You can go double large. You can go one magnetic field stabilizer and one eagle tracking computer, or double magnetic field stabilizer, depending on which way you went with your foot. With this put on, your ship is stable. It has easy access to do a lot of damage. Now, as for your combat slots, I'm not going to go through it again. 1 for damage, 1 for activation time. That is going to be on the railguns. You want to see exactly which ones, go back to the Naga video. It's the first in the series. It was the one that came out later in the day. It was a little bit of a delay. Then under that there, you're going to have one one armor wrap optimizer. You don't want the balance for capacitor need. You have perfect capacitor need with it in its class. So there you go. You have a nice regen. You are recovering almost 1,000 armor per double wrap. It's fantastic. It's going to hold you stable. Now, as for your next set of your rigs, one auxiliary thruster, going to give you a boost in speed, and either double semiconductor control or one semiconductor control, one capacitor control circuit. If you are playing the long range, you're going to go capacitor control circuit more than anything else. You want that ability to recover from a bad situation. If you are playing in the front range with the Nosferatu, that is the other brawler build, you can use the double semiconductor control to give you that extra cap to hold your ship together. Remember, the whole idea with that close range is you're going to be running armor wraps non-stop. You want to drain as much power as possible from your enemy ships, and that will keep you very close to stable. The large Nosferatu is 700 megawatts, so it does take a massive hit to your ship. You're running double magnetic stabilizers to do maximum DPS. Now, this was a very quick build because the Naga is already here, and I'm referring back to the Naga a lot. The reason is quite simple. The Naga build and this build only have one difference, and that is the difference between shield and armor wrap. Because the shield wraps can go large, it makes it a lot more complicated. Because the armor wrap isn't so heavy on drain, you can keep it quite simple. Now, all of this put together give you a nice heavy combat ship for the brawler tactic. It's a heavy assault brawler with a little bit of tank added into it. It's going to decimate your enemies. Again, on the larger range of combat, you can have upwards of 700 DPS on this ship, right? It's similar to one of the other ships, but because of their larger time in activating weapons, it's where you do make your benefit. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and thank you all for watching.